Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus, and welcome back to The Gunslinger by Stephen King. How you doing, Internet? That last section was pretty intense. You doing alright? Doing okay? You enjoying your Thanksgiving so far? This section is the first half of the way station. It has the gunslinger walking along on his own in the desert, and he's thinking about the poem about rain in Spain. You know, the rain falls plainly on the plains in Spain or something like that. He's thinking about that poem. He's getting delirious in the summer heat because it's the desert, and wouldn't you be getting delirious in the summer heat? And he comes across a figure in black clothes. He immediately thinks that this figure is the man in black that he has been hunting, and he pulls out his weapons. He fires at the man in black, and then he finds out that the man has shrunk 2 feet, and the man isn't really dark and disturbing. He is very pale and bald, and finds out that it's not the man in black. He's firing at a little boy. After he finishes shooting, he passes out. So the boy runs up to the gunslinger, and he starts talking to him, and he starts referencing the man in black as a priest. And the gunslinger says, "Did you see him?" And he says, "Of course I saw him. I mean, he was creepy. How could you not see him?" And he says, "What did he do?" And he said, "He sat in darkness. He never even lit a campfire or anything. It was really disturbing and creepy." And then the boy starts talking about how he used to go to school and how he would walk past a giant lady in the water that was holding a torch. Sounds like the Statue of Liberty. And now I'm even more confused. There's disinfectant, there's a Statue of Liberty, but everybody acts and the places sound like they're from the Old West. So maybe I'm wrong. The gunslinger wants answers as well from this boy, and he thinks that he can figure out more about the man in black if he hypnotizes the boy. So he does. And then we get this section about the boy going to school where cooks are taking care of him, and it's a very modern section. So it's modern high school. He's getting white bread, peanut butter, and jelly, crusts cut off. Everything feels like it could happen today, this instant. I'm starting to think that maybe we are not so much in the distant past of the Old West times. We are in the distant future where the Old West times have kind of looped upon itself and history is repeating itself. The boy dreams of being hit by a car on the way to school. As he's lying there, a priest runs up, and the boy immediately sees him as the man in black. We go back to this crazy land where Gunslinger has hypnotized the boy, and he asks, "Do you want to be woken up?" And the boy says, "Of course." And he says, "Do you want to remember what you're dreaming right now?" And the boy says, "No." And so the Gunslinger says, "Okay, I'm going to snap my fingers, and when you wake up, you'll remember nothing." They wake up, and they decide to set up camp, and they decide to set up camp at an abandoned gas station. And that's when I really know that this is pretty much the distant future, where civilization has crumbled. These two are trying to survive. The boy asks why the gunslinger is after the man in black, and whether or not he wants to kill the man in black. And the gunslinger says, "I don't want to kill him. I want to take him somewhere." And the boy says, "You want to take him to the tower, don't you?" And we get our first inkling of the Dark Tower, which is what this series is all about. The sun goes down and they're about to go to sleep. The boy asks the gunslinger if he could sleep in the stable with him because, well, he's scared. And the gunslinger says, "Of course." They both pass out. They wake up and they decide to start searching the cellar. And they start going through the old cans of food and everything. And all of a sudden they start hearing a groaning sound. Mother? And the gunslinger starts speaking to the groan, while the boy is like, "We have to get out of here," and he starts grabbing food as fast as he can and starts running. And the boy is waiting outside as the gunslinger is still in the cellar, and he sees a hole in the wall. And he actually digs his arm into the hole and he pulls out a jawbone with jagged teeth. Stephen King has this way of making the groan seem like a physical beast being sort of thing, and it just doesn't click for me. The boy is just scared of sound. The gunslinger is just replying to the sound. I don't really see any true danger in this situation. But the boy is obviously terrified as the gunslinger comes out with the jawbone in his hands, and the boy just hugs him and he says, "Oh, thank God, I thought the groan got you." And I'm just thinking, what exactly is this groan thingy? The boy and the gunslinger go off into the desert. They're discussing King Arthur. And that's where our section ends for today. Question that I have for you is, did the groan thing connect with you in the same way that it did for the little boy? Did it creep you out? The question that I had yesterday was all about whether or not the gunslinger did what he did, or when and where this is taking place. I think this section pretty much answers the second question. I actually had to ask a friend. His YouTube channel is Kentley. I had to ask him if that actually happened, and he said, "You bet your ass you did." That disturbs me to my utter core. And it seems like everyone really hates that section, so I completely understand if you hated it too. Because I really hated it. Do not forget that the next book that I will be reading is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Go out and grab it by any legal means necessary. Buy it at a bookstore, buy it on a Kindle, borrow it from a friend, borrow it from the library. I don't care what you do as long as it's legal and you read it before I ruin it for you. I've been Ellie the Purple-Haired Doofus, reminding you to watch the Gym Radius. And I will see you all in the next section of The Gunslinger by Stephen King. Toodles!